Welcome back to the channel, Farm with Nick. Thank you so much for joining me today. Right now, we are on Alma, Missouri, and I have just purchased this cow farm just outside of town, and we are going to do a farm build on it today. So, if you kind of tuned in to the last episode, I told everyone I was selling the farm that is the first starting farm that they give you when you play on this map. And today we are going to be building a farm here on this corner cattle farm. So my idea for this, obviously we're starting over, and my idea was obviously to kind of start fresh and get to something new. However, always passing through this farm, I really liked that you could have cattle in this field up here. They would also appear over here, which right now there's only like a few in here. And then on the back side, there was like another pasture that was kind of connected in, went through the trees and like kind of back up here, up by the mill and then back behind the store. So I always thought that was really cool that the map creator put that in for this farm, and that was part of like my jealousy that the starting farm did not have. And I looked at expanding the starting farm on the other one, and I kept coming back to, what about if I just moved over here and did a series over here? Now I know there's been a handful of people on different channels that have put out just great episodes and great series on owning this farm. So I thought, well, why not? And kind of put my spin on it, so to speak. So today I'd like to do a farm build on this map and get going with this. So I'm in our build mode right now, and I do not want to get rid of any of these fences, and I know I cannot get rid of this brown barn, as we'll delete that pasture in the different areas of this map that I want to keep. So I would like to kind of change this barn out, but I'm going to leave it because, like I said, I like the different cattle pastures that it puts kind of throughout the map here. I think it looks really cool. So I'm going to keep that. And then I am going to put a different barn in right here instead of this brown one. So we'll sell that. I'm also going to put a different barn in instead of this metal shed. I did not use the metal shed on that starting farm at all. So if you saw the last video, I kind of talked about it, but I thought about leaving it, and I was like, I didn't even use it in the last one. So I'm going to put in something that I would use. So I'm going to sell that as well. And then we'll go over here. I'm going to sell these farm decorations because we're going to put some buildings and stuff over here, and then I'm going to sell this small shed as well. Okay, so there we go. That's what we're left with: house, pastures, and first cattle barn. And I think that's fine for now. Okay, so right there in our side by side, let's run over. I do have a forestry machine here, and let's delete this tree right here. There we go. And then let's go back here, because I've had an idea for some different sheds. There's one in particular that I just downloaded and I'd like to use, and I know it's probably gonna, I mean, it's as long as that metal shed, so it comes all the way back here, but it's a little wider, so I know this tree is absolutely going to be in the way for sure. So let's get rid of that one. Oops. There we go. A little bit of a stump left there. Oops. Let's get rid of that stump. There we go. And then while we're here, we might as well just get rid of some of these smaller trees. Just to kind of open it up. But like I said, I can always come back and do some of these, you know, later if I would like to. Kind of open it up more. You know, I don't mind some of those trees because, you know, your cattle would be underneath there and get some nice shade in the summertime. There we go. That's probably fine for now. So we'll leave it like that. And probably just leave this park back there. Okay. Let's get into our build mode and let's add this shed right here, and let's add a shed right here as well. So let's go down, and I was thinking of adding something like this. Nice large open door. I think that would work really good here. So I know I can't delete that white fence, so it's gonna kind of stick into my barn a little bit. That's okay. And then kind of line up that other fence over there. There. I think that'll be really good. Yeah, so we have access into here, and then I can still kind of park some things on the side, which I think is perfect. Okay. And then let's get another one in over here. Now I had an idea for this one. Another mod. And I'd like to get that one in here. Oh, perfect. It looks like it'll fit here, and get rid of those other trees. Okay, so let's just kind of straighten it up. Line it up. And I can see that fence on the left is going to go into the barn just a little bit. And that's okay. There we go. Something like that. I think that's the same color. Yes, it is the same color red. Just in the shadow, it looks a little darker than the other one, but that's just with the light on it. Okay, so we have this cattle barn here, and I would like to keep that. Now I want to add another one, and I'd like to add other animals as well. To kind of keep me busy, and unlike the last series on Alma, I'd like to get a little more going, and more going right away too. All right, so this one by Pleasant View Farms is awesome if you haven't used it before. So I'm thinking of using it here somewhere. And I've done enough like custom farm builds with this barn. And I know he saw it on one of mine, but I feel like I've never played with it. And I'm like, why not? It's an awesome barn and I should play with it. So I feel like this is the time. And I still like playing on Alma, and I still want to get to some of these other fields. And I'm like, well, I'll just sell that other farm. We have some money now, and let's put it in there. Okay, so I'm thinking, when I was talking with you, I'm thinking this. Now I can see that I'm going to have to do some leveling in here for sure. Yes, I am going to. But I like this because then I could still use that drive. Now it makes it a little tighter in the back behind by the fence. But if I put it this way, that also works, but then still I have to do some leveling up front. You can see it's up higher. But yeah, I've been really wanting to play with this cow barn for a while. really. And Pleasant View, he did just awesome job, and really, I think still on Mod Hub, for console players at least, this is the only one with like an actual milking parlor, which I really do appreciate. So, all right, well, let's place this here for now. I know I'm gonna have to come back through and do some leveling, and I know that's gonna take away a lot of money. So yeah, this in the back here has to be smoothed out. All of this, that has to be smoothed out, and then you can see this has to come up here in this corner. This has to come up in the front. And then, yeah, that's still enough room for what I'm gonna do. You can still get through there. And I think that'll work. Yeah, the doors, you can get in there. But yeah, I've been really itching to play with that barn. I put it on enough maps now, so it's time. It's time to play with it and have some fun. All right. Let's go over, animals still, sorry. And let's go down. I thought about this wired chicken coop, and I've used it a little bit here and there in a couple builds. I really do like it. It's pretty realistic. You'd have your chickens in that little coop. They could, come out in free range if you open up the door, or say if you're on vacation or you had some predators out or whatever, if you wanted to keep them in, you would keep them in that pen. So I really do like this one. However, I was thinking more of this chicken barn. I know it holds a lot, 500, just because it matches more of the style of this farm. All right, so I'm thinking, land is not owned by you. Okay. I thought I bought this field with my money. I did not. This one I own. Okay. All right, so I'll bring you right back in a second. And yeah, I was thinking of putting it here on this corner. I think that would work well. If the entrance is there, out of the cattle one, and then you could get to the feed, the silo for that. So, all right, I'll bring you back in a second, and I'll purchase that field. All right, I'm all set. I put that chicken barn down right there, kind of coming off of this cow barn, and then you would go in there, and then you have this drive that's going to come around, and then you could get up to that chicken silo. So I think that'll work really nice. I know it kind of cuts into our grass field a little bit, but I do like that. That there's a little more room here that I could expand out this way. All right, so let's continue. So as of right now, we put this American shed in right here, large front garage door. Put this other barn in, kind of matches the style of this brown one. I wish we could put that, there was that red barn from Ravenport that matches, but it's okay. And then we put in this milking barn from Pleasant View Farms, and then we have this chicken barn from the red barn pack. And let's go and continue with this. So let's go over to pigs, and been wanting to put some pigs in, and I found a mod I think that I'll like a lot. So thinking of kind of placing it here, kind of on a corner and an angle. So the front of it would be this way, and then the back, you can still kind of get to it back there by the chicken silo. And then the front of it will just kind of expand in the driveway there a little bit. All right, so let me place it here. Could always come back and get to it later. But I like it because you can open up these gates, and then these windows here will open up as well. And then to actually fill it, you need an auger to get that feed up. So I thought that was really cool, something unique, and kind of looking forward to doing something a little bit different and playing with that and having some pigs on the farm. Okay, let's keep going. Over here and coming up this side of the path, let's put another like cold storage barn. That way we can put like combines in there, other wagons, stuff that we're gonna need space for later, because we only have 2 sheds up there. But let's add another. So how about this? It's the American Old Garage mod with the stars on it. Sort of matches a little bit shade, different shade of red. I think it'll look cool. I like the stars on it too, gives it that older look. All right, kind of coming off of that drive like that. I think that'll look really cool. And then it'll be practical too, because then you can kind of just swing around, do that loop, and go back out. Okay, and then let's go to silos. And I really like these fermenting silos. Let's put one kind of right here. There we go. I think that'll look nice, kind of right in the corner. That way, too, when I remove this barn and kind of work on the leveling, that'll kind of help me place it as well. All right, so that'll work out. Let's keep going. Any other silos that we would need? Oh, yes. Like a multi-fruit silo. Just an all-purpose. So if we have an extra feed left over, and I think this concrete one would work well. Could use this metal one. Let's do the concrete one instead. So how about right here in this corner? I think that would work very well. Right here on this little patch of grass. There we go. And then over here, silo extensions, because that is our only one for this farm. Let's put an extension over here next to it, and if we don't need it, I can take it out later. But that way, it's right there. And we can put a little more in there. Okay. Container. Let's go in. I'd like to add this, the buying station. Same thing as the last farm here in Alma. Very nice to have, very convenient, even though I am much closer now to town. So it's not as bad to go back and forth, but still that convenience of just going right there to buy something. That's really nice. Oh, probably need a water tower too. I know this one, looked at it earlier before I purchased it. That one needs water. So, yep, there's a point there. Zoom in. Let's put it right here, actually. And same thing, if that's in a bad spot, you can always change that later as well. All right, let's add just a little fuel tank. Kind of keep all of these things over here. And we can drive around and get to that. And then how about a fertilizer tank? And just do one for now. Okay. And then That's good. I'm just looking. I don't think I'm going to put in a shop. If you haven't checked out the last farm build I did in Alma, go over and check it out. I put in a shop just because it took so long to go over to town if I had repairs or something, or if I wanted to change something on a vehicle, which I use that a lot, it seemed like. So if I wanted to change tires or engines, like I could just go in there and I was all set. I don't think I'll need it here. Because I'm just right by town, I can just drive over. Okay, so I think for now that looks really good, and for my needs and what I would like to do on this, pretty practical. So we have our drive here, comes up, we have our milking barn here, then change the two barns that were previously here. Then we have our cow barn. I want to keep that one so it keeps the pastures. And then we have a multi-fruit silo, chicken barn, extension silo over there. We have pigs, which I'm very excited about. And then that kind of loops back through. We have a couple other utility containers here. We have our other silo here for getting some chaff, getting silage, and then we have another cold storage barn. Oh, I know what I want to do. Okay, so let's go. So in the last episode, there was one thing I really did like using, and it saved me a lot of time. It was this, the TMR mixing station. Instead of using the wagon, which in previous farming simulators, that's what I always used. But I'd like to use one of these, and I think I could just place it here on the back side of this. Now I might have to delete this and come back through again. But if I just placed it kind of back here off of the barn, and I might have to slide it down. But yeah, then I could come through and place my hay in there, straw and silage, and then super simple to come through here, get my TMR mix, and then I can go into this barn and or this barn. I think that'll work really well. Yes, perfect. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Okay. And then I think I'm good. It's really just then putting in some of the finishing touches and like putting some bushes here, kind of cleaning up the landscape. And then obviously this barn, I can definitely tell I'm gonna have to do some major work here on leveling. And then I might even have to move this fertilizer container back a little bit, and then kind of making a drive up to here as well. And then this way, kind of making some paths through. Okay. So I'll probably work on all that later, but I'm very, very happy with that so far. I think that'll work out really well. And I'm excited to kind of be, moving the farm and everything over. Now recently I just purchased some new fields as well, and those fields I also did sell. That way I had some extra money, and then I can kind of move forward and buy extra fields that are closer by this farm. So here's just a quick tour really quick, driving around on our side by side. As I hit the roof line there. We have these couple cold storage barns, our water tank, And then that gate that goes up to our front pasture. I think that looks really good. Keeping all that. Keeping our brown barn here. There's our gate that goes into there for water. And then looping around, we have our TMR plant. Nice to use that again. Nice to have a little bit of storage right there on that brown barn. Our silo, chicken barn. And then this way, our pigs. And we'll kind of clean that up around it. And then our storage containers here. And then one more storage right there. Excuse me. And then our fermenting silo, and then this pasture to get into there. We'll leave all that. And then I'll have to move this grass back a little bit. Open up our drive. Okay. I think that'll do it for this farm build here. And I'll put in some of the other touches. Like I said, adding some of the finer details. I'll fix this barn here with the leveling and try to get that as best as I can and go from there. So once again, thank you so much for joining me today on the farm here in Alma, Missouri, and hope you stay tuned for this series here. I'm really excited about actually playing on this farm and getting to utilize all the possibilities, because you can even expand into this field. So there's plenty of room, and then you can keep going into this area as well. So really excited about it. I really like how this turned out. I like how it's kind of condensed and everything's kind of, close knit and kind of fits together really nicely. So thank you again for watching, and have a good one. Take care.